Everyone dreams of retiring in Phuket until they actually live there. It's crowded, expensive and built for tourists, not retirees. Just 3 hours from Bangkok, Hua Hin is a calmer, cheaper, safer and it's built for real living. If you're serious about retiring in Thailand, you need to hear this. Phuket is a massive tourist destination known worldwide. Yeah, Hua Hin is too, but way not as much as Phuket. So I think just so many more tourists from around the world go to this location. So this attracts lots of different people living there. So this is something else that you need to consider. You know, in Hua Hin, yeah, for sure there's a mixed, diverse culture there, but not as mixed as Phuket for sure. There's a hell of a lot of Russians living down in Phuket at the moment and other nationalities as well, guys. So you won't find that in Hua Hin. You'll find, yeah, kind of a Western expat, you know, British. There's a lot of Scandinavians there, Americans, Aussies, Canadians. I think another massive advantage is there's the proximity to Bangkok. You know, you're only 3 hours away from Suvarnabhumi airport, or maybe 4 hours from Suvarnabhumi, but 3 hours away from Bangkok. Whereas Phuket, you know, you're a hell of a drive from a near city. And that's another thing, you know, Phuket, where's your nearest city? You have to drive miles and miles to get to, you know, different kind of big city. Where if you're in Hua Hin, you know, Bangkok's not far. You can go south of Hua Hin, graduate up Kirikan. There's lots of big cities, Phetchaburi, Siam. There's lots of big cities around Hua Hin, guys. So I think this would be a better choice if you want, you know, some alternatives quite easily. Yes, guaranteed. Hua Hin, they have an airport, but it's a bit, you know, if you live in Hua Hin, they don't have that many flights going out to that area. So, you know, Phuket is an international airport, but you don't want to always fly. Sometimes you just want to drive an hour, 2 hours in your car to go somewhere for the day. So this would be something else to consider. I think there's better access to top tier hospitals in Hua Hin. Now you might argue with that, but Bangkok has the best hospitals in the whole of Thailand. So you are close to like Bumrungrad International, which is notoriously known as the best hospital in Thailand. And you know, there are a lot of world-class hospitals around Bangkok. In Phuket too, they have international hospitals for sure, but I just think there's more choice and you're closer to world-class ones, which are in Bangkok. There's a bit of building work going on here, guys, so there might be a bit of digger noise in the background. It's a beautiful day here today. Look at it, clear blue skies, absolutely lovely. Can you recognize I'm not actually in Thailand today? I am out of Thailand quite a bit on business sometimes, so sometimes the videos come from around the world a bit. That's why I was quite interested in putting on the channel some different type of content sometimes, because I do travel to some amazing places and it's a bit of a shame sometimes I can't always put it on the channel because I'm worried it's gonna affect the channel and, you know, people won't watch it. It's a bit of a funny thing, this YouTube. Right, let's get back to the video. Another thing to mention is it's super family friendly, you know, Hua Hin for sure. I mean, Phuket is family friendly, but they have a lot of go-go bars, and you know, in Hua Hin they don't allow any go-go bars, so this makes it more family friendly, I think. Yeah, are there still beer bars? Yeah, all over Phuket and all over Hua Hin, guys, but I think, you know, there isn't that extreme like there is, you know, there isn't that massive party scene as much as there is down in Phuket. You know, there is, you know, Bangla Road, which is very, very famous, isn't it? Where, you know, all the tourists go, and probably some expats as well sometimes if they feel like a party. That's a massive tourist area and a massive party scene with beer bars, go-go bars, you know, on a level like Pattaya, not like Hua Hin, okay? Hua Hin bars are very low-key, relaxed, very chilled out, you know, kind of place, which suits the kind of vibe of the area. You know, it is laid back, it's chilled out. You know, you don't go and retire or come to Hua Hin if you want hectic life and, you know, party central. Then don't come to Hua Hin. That's not a good idea. You know, this is a beautiful, quiet little place to come to. It's getting busier for sure, but it's nothing like Phuket. The next thing to talk about would be the air quality. Now, hopefully some of you guys living down in Phuket can comment here, you know, because you live there year round, I don't. You know, I think they're on a par with each other. I think Hua Hin's just as good as Phuket, but let us know in the comments what you think. And, you know, I've lived around Hua Hin. I've never noticed pollution there, but people have complained about it sometimes online, so it must happen there a bit. I've never seen much myself, to be honest, very minimal, but that's usually when the whole of Thailand is covered in pollution at certain time of year, where, you know, it's horrendous up Chiang Rai and then, okay, or Chiang Mai, and then, okay, round Hua Hin, they can have a little bit, you know. You're further enough away from Bangkok. Even where I live in Samut Songkhram, we get a bit from Bangkok still, you know. I think it's like the pollution a little bit from Bangkok going to the outskirts of Bangkok. And we used to get the same in Nonthaburi when I used to live there, guys. There's definitely less risk of natural disasters. I mean, there's not really many natural disasters in Thailand in general. I mean, the main thing you need to worry about is flooding. Yes, they had this earthquake, but it wasn't in Thailand. The earthquake wasn't, guys. It was a neighboring country. And, you know, yes, it was felt in Bangkok. You probably saw the videos, you know, the condo building slightly shaking, you know, swimming pool water going off the rooftop pools. You probably saw the videos. It was quite scary. I wasn't in Bangkok at the time. I knew some guys who were in Bangkok at that time, and, you know, it's pretty scary for those guys. And I feel for you, man, because I lived around there for a long, long time. So, but we were in Samut Songkhram and we did feel it a bit, but yeah, it wasn't really much, to be honest, where we were. So that was a very rare event, you know, that doesn't really happen very often. I think in Hua Hin they didn't even feel it down there, to be honest, and in Phuket. But, you know, there was the famous tsunami in Phuket in 2004, is that right? Put it in the comments if I got it wrong. I think it was 2004, they had the huge tsunami down in Phuket. So that's something to think about. I mean, yeah, it's 21 years ago, but it did happen, you know. A lot of people died, so... I mean, they've got things in place now to prevent that. So hopefully things like that never, ever happen again, hopefully, you know. So natural disaster, I think the main thing you have to worry about is flooding. And on that note, in Phuket, it rains a lot. Now, you guys, if you live down there, tell me honestly, how many months a year does it rain down there? And it's a lot, I know, because I know people who lived down there for a long time. And they say, oh, there's a lot of rain down in Phuket. You know, the rainy season is longer than other areas of Thailand. Yeah, they get flooding in Hua Hin too, but it's one of the driest places in Thailand. So consider that when you come into Thailand to retire. You know, do you want to live where there's floods? I know in Bangkok the floods are horrendous. I lived around there for 9 years. I know how bad they are. In Pattaya the floods are bad. I know. I've been there many times when it's flooded along Beach Road. It goes down like a river. And round the backsides in Nonthaburi and Bangkok, it just can be absolutely a joke sometimes. So, you know, flooding is rife in Thailand at times, at certain times of year. Yeah, it comes and then goes again quick. You kind of get used to it living out here. Oh, guys, just do us a massive favour. Just press the red subscribe button. Just press it. There it is. Okay, thanks. I'm back to the video. If you're looking to buy like a luxury pool villa, they have both of these options in both areas, you know, Phuket and Hua Hin. You know, there's more and more pool villas being sold to expats, retirees living in Hua Hin now than there was before, you know, and it's getting more and more. I just did a video a few weeks ago with a guy who he builds pool villas and then sells them, you know, over in this area. But in Phuket too, there's loads and loads of pool villas for sale. I think the choice, if you're looking for luxury pool villa, there'll be more in Phuket, just because it's a more established place. There's more expats living there. There's more retirees living there. You know, it's been an expat and retiree area way before Hua Hin was. So it's had time to really develop a lot more. But that has downsides, you know. There is overdevelopment in some areas. And the prices are going to be a bit higher too, because obviously it's more established. There's more people wanting to buy pool villas there because it's just more famous place. People know about Phuket around the world. So, you know, a lot of foreigners come here and want to buy pool villas or rent pool villas or, you know, get apartments or condos in the city. I think overall, for me personally, and I think for a lot of you guys listening, you know, Hua Hin has a lot more advantages living there as a retiree than Phuket does. I mean, it's a total personal decision. I mean, Phuket's a bit over commercialized, some people say. And some people say, you know, Hua Hin's getting like that now. There's getting too many people there, and they're looking at, you know, moving south of Hua Hin a bit, you know, away from the riffraff, or, you know, the mass kind of retirees and expats living there now. Because, you know, there is a lot more people coming here now through just promotion of the area. Everyone kind of knows about this area now and just gets a good reputation because it's ace. You know, that's the thing. Yeah, it's been really good for last 20 years and people just didn't know about it then, you know. And that's when I was going. Well, no, 15 years ago 16 years ago I started going there, and you know, I've been going there ever since. And I think people who've been there, you know, from right back then, they kind of, oh, it's changed a bit, it's not as good. But Hua Hin's still a great place to live. You know, it's still an awesome place. Yeah, has it got more touristy? For sure. Has it got more, you know, commercialized? For sure. But there's still some amazing areas around there, you know, near Hua Hin. And the town still hasn't lost its charm. It's still the same wonderful place it's always been, guys. All right, thanks for listening, guys, today. And I'll see you on the next video.